2. The Logos expresses himself now through the divine ray, his second aspect, and this ray is the sum total of the radiation of the Lords of Wisdom, the heavenly men, the dragons who are unity and who are love. Through them this force flows, and they in turn clothe themselves with form, or as HPB expresses it, the primordial ray becomes the villain for the divine ray. 169 The divine ray contains within itself 7 other rays. It is the swan with the 7 young ones. It is the Logos of love wisdom with the 7 planetary logoi. It is the grand man of the heavens, with the 7 heavenly men. It is the one boundless principle, with the 7 principles. This is subjectively. It is the 7 planets with their informing entities. It is the 7 planes with their animating principles. Love wisdom is the manifestation of the astral, or desire, nature of the solar Logos. S. D. I. 103.68 Their life animates every atom of substance when built into form, and their life is the sum total of logoic magnetism, or the great desire nature of the Logos going out after the not-self, producing the cosmic marriage. It is the logoic demonstration of the sex appeal, his search for his polar opposite, and their mystic union. This process is repeated by the microcosm following the line of his being, and this brings him likewise into incarnation, or into mystic union with form. B. The atomic triangle. The causal sheath is to the clairvoyant therefore a sphere of vibrant living substance. Within it can be seen 3 fiery points. At the heart of the sphere is a central blaze of light, emitting rays. These rays are given as 7 in number, and play upon these points or circles, analogous to the electrons in the atoms of science, and at this stage produce most effect upon the astral permanent atom. The physical permanent atom has a position relatively close to the positive center, and the force plays through it, and passes on to the astral permanent atom in the form of 5 rays of party-colored light which blend with the intensely vivid hue of the astral permanent atom, and increase its intensity until the blaze is so excessive that it appears to the onlooker as if the 2 points blended, or the 2 electrons merged, and, in merging, produce such an intensity of light, that they are seen as dissolving. The mental unit, having a position within the causal body analogous to the planet furthermost from the sun, becomes vibrant likewise, and the 2 other points, considered now as one, begin to interact with the mental unit, and a similar process is set up and is pursued until these 2 points circulating around their positive center also approach each other, blend, merge, and dissolve. The center of positive life gathers or synthesizes the 3 points, and thus the 3 fires of the personality repeat on their tiny scale the microcosmic procedure as seen in the synthesis of electric fire, solar fire, and fire by friction, and only a blazing unit is left. This blazing unit, through the combined heat of its being, burns up the causal body, and escapes back onto the planes of abstraction. Thus man is the path itself, and also the pilgrim upon the path. Thus does he burn, but is also the burning ground. The analogy holds true in the case of the microcosm viewed from monadic levels in his manifestation as monad, ego and personality, and thus the process is carried on as it concerns a heavenly man, and likewise a solar Logos. Should the brain suffice to hold the concept, thus is the process also on cosmic levels for such high existences as the 7 rishis of the Great Bear, and that still greater being, the one about whom not may be said. 3. The spirally and the egoic ray. We will take up now the subject of the spirally within the permanent atom, and see in what manner they are affected by the egoic ray, remembering always that we are considering them as first, the interior economy of the life germ on the 3 planes, which concern man in the 3 worlds. Second, as the 7th principle in each of the 3 sheaths. and third, as the positive nucleus of force which holds together the matter of the three sheaths. Let us therefore study two things: the composition of the permanent atom, the difference between the mental unit and the astral and physical permanent atoms. To do this with clarity, and so bring some kind of definite concept into being from the dark regions of abstraction, let us tabulate. A. The composition of the permanent atom. The permanent atom of the astral and physical planes is a sphere of physical or astral substance, composed of atomic matter, and characterized by the following qualities. Responsiveness. This is its inherent power, to respond to the vibration of some one of the heavenly men, as it is transmitted via the Deva, or Brahma aspect, of his threefold nature. The permanent atom finds its place within the sphere of influence of one or other of the great Devas, who are the Raja Lords of the plane. Form-building power. These Devas sound forth two syllables of the threefold microcosmic word and are each, on their own plane, the coherent agency which gathers substance into form, and attracts matter for purposes of objectivity. The astral sound produces the microcosmic sun of necessity, and when it reverberates on the physical plane produces physical incarnation, and the sudden appearance on etheric levels of the seven centers. The building of the dense physical is the result of consequent automatic action in Deva essence, for it must ever be borne in mind that man is essentially, as regards the physical plane, an etheric being, and his dense physical body is esoterically regarded as below the threshold and is not considered a principle. Relative permanency. In the seventh principle of all manifesting entities, is stored up and developed capacity, acquired ability, and the atomic memory, or in other words the heredity of the thinker, viewing him from the physical standpoint or from the emotional. There is no permanence whatever in the sheaths. They are built into temporary forms, and dissolve when the thinker has exhausted their possibilities, but the seventh principle of each sheath gathers to itself the achieved qualities and stores them up under the law of karma to work out again and to demonstrate as the plane impulse at each fresh cycle of manifestation. This permanency is itself likewise only a relative one, and as the inner fire within the atom burns more brightly, as the external fires of the ego, or solar fire beat upon it with ever-increasing intensity, the atom in due time is consumed, and the inner blaze becomes so great that it destroys its encompassing wall. Heat. Herein lies the distinction between the permanent atoms on all planes, and the atomic matter of which they form a part. It is not easy to make this distinction clear, nor is it desirable at this time. The true facts of the case are one of the guarded secrets of initiation, but the distinction between the permanent atom and atomic matter may be somewhat comprehended if we state. The permanent atom is one that has been appropriated by one of the lives that form the centers in the body of a solar lord, whilst atomic matter per se goes to the formation of other parts of his great body of light. A permanent atom is one which has come under the attractive power of the second aspect, whilst atomic matter itself is vitalized by the life of the third aspect. A permanent atom follows the line of the least resistance of force, and is passing out of the control of the Deva Lord and coming under the control of positive life. This concerns the evolution of consciousness in substance. A permanent atom comes under the direct control of the lower of the three groups of Lipica lords, and is the agency through which they work in the imposition of karma upon the particular entity who may be utilizing it. They work directly with the permanent atoms of men, and produce results through the agency of form, until they have exhausted the vibratory capacity of any particular atom. When this is the case, the atom passes into the stage of obscuration, as does the seventh principle of any sheath. It comes under the influence of the first aspect, manifesting as the destroyer. Remember that in these affirmations we are concerning ourselves with the microcosm, and with the permanent atoms which are related to him. As regards the solar logos manifesting in the system, we are concerned with but one permanent atom, and this is his physical permanent atom. It is thus true that within the permanent physical atom of the solar logos lies the ability to respond consciously to the vibration of all the planes, lies the secret of the karmic purpose of his incarnation, and lies concealed the mystery of his functional activity. But we cannot penetrate the secret, as yet, of his three lower permanent atoms, as they function as a unity within his causal vehicle. Until we can do this, it is useless for us to conjecture as to his fundamental being. The difference between them. The mental unit is in a unique and peculiar position as regards man, the thinker in the causal body. This point will be discussed shortly. Suffice it to say here that its mystery lies hid in the nature of the heavenly men themselves. The following correspondence holds the key to this mystery, but it can only be indicated, leaving it to the student to work out the truth for himself. On the three planes of logoic manifestation, the highest three, we have the three aspects manifesting. On the Buddhic plane, the fourth cosmic ether, we have the logoic etheric centers, demonstrating, or those force vortices which animate the three lower planes of the dense physical manifestation. In connection with the heavenly men we have a secondary manifestation, and on the Buddhic plane we have their third aspect found, leaving for their paramount manifestation of force, the cosmic gaseous plane, or the monasic plane. They are essentially the divine thinkers, the Manasaputras. In connection, therefore, with the microcosm, viewing him as part of a center in the body of a heavenly man, we have a lesser descent within the gaseous or fire manifestation of a solar lord. This concerns the three higher subplanes of what might be considered as the manifestation of man's three higher aspects in mental matter, whilst on the fourth subplane we have the mental centers of man within the periphery of his mental body, of which the mental unit is the unifying factor. This is, as has been earlier said, a deep mystery, and one that can be no further amplified. B. The planes and fiery energy. It seems desirable that we should here discuss the analogies on each plane. 17,069 1. The seven systemic planes are: 1. Divine plane logos, first cosmic ether. 2. Monadic plane monad, second cosmic ether. 3. Spiritual plane, third cosmic ether. 4. Intuitional plane, fourth cosmic ether. 5. Mental plane, ego gaseous plane. 6. Astral plane, liquid plane. 7. Physical gross. 2. The seven differentiations in terms of fiery energy are: A. Plane of divine life, Father, C of fire. B. Plane of monadic life, Son, Akasha. C. Plane of Atma, Holy Ghost, ether. D. Plane of Buddhi, intuition. Central air. E. Plane of mind, fire. F. Plane of desire, astral light. G. Plane of physical ether, thought forms, materialization. Microcosm, macrocosm. 3. Planes of logoic evolution, the seven planes. Planes of Son's evolution, the 6 planes. Planes of monadic evolution, the 5 planes. Planes of human evolution.